So, what are cookies? Cookies are basically your small files or code that are stored on a user's computer. They are sent to your web server to a web browser on a user computer, and each cookie is effectively containing some pairs of data. For example, you have your surname and you can have your any type of data. Every time when a user visits the website, it checks its cookies before, because cookies hold user preferences such as their language, currency, and previous browsing activity. For example, you might have witnessed this that the ads that comes on our social media websites are mostly preferred on our interest. That means that mostly if we are talking about cars or if we are mostly talking about any specific brand, it is most likely that we will be having ads of the same category. Why is that? Because it is stored in your user cookies file. And when any website access your cookies file, it means that it is accessing the your collected data. Because for example, if you are opening up Facebook, you are typing your username and password, or if you are browsing anything on the internet, or let it be your if you are shopping online, that means that you are searching for those specific products. So most likely all of your searches are stored in your cookies file, and when any website accesses those cookies, because since they are accessible, they means that they are accessing your user preferences. For example, if you are searching for a shirt over different websites on the internet, that means that this search result is stored in your cookies file. And when the cookies are going to be accessed, that means that now you are most likely going to watch the ads of those websites or e-commerce website that shows you shirts, right? For example, if you are buying a book, the cookie remembers the type of book that you have selected, and most likely it is going to show you the same message. So this is an overall version of a cookie. If there is a question exam regarding cookie, you can mention that cookies are basically small files or codes that are stored on user computer. They can be sent to a browser on a user's computer as well. अब cookies की बेटा मेरे पास जो है दो types हैं. One is a sessional cookie and the second one is a persistent cookie, permanent cookie. So one more thing is that cookie does not have any expiry date associated with it. It is so it's always mostly considered a session cookie, but we are going to discuss that what is the difference between both of them. So first of all, if this is a session cookies are mostly used for example when you are either working with a food panda website or if you are working with a Daraz website. So basically what happens that when you are searching for the items and the items that you like the most, you add them into your cart, and just as your session ends or you are done shopping, you close the website. So it pops up you with an error message that if you want to keep those items into your bucket, into your cart or not. And most of the users say no, so that they can start their shopping from the fresh start. So it actually terminates all of the products there. But if they are stored there the next time you open your website, that means that they are stored in your sessional cookies. This is the example of this. So for example, when making an online purchase, the user keeps an item in a shopping basket in a cart. So this type of cookie is stored in temporary memory of your computer, and it mostly does not collect any information from the user's computer, and it may or may not identify a personal use, but this sessional cookie can be used with the help of a browser. But since you close the browser, your session is terminated. So sessional cookie session means that this only remains for a limited time period. The second type of cookie I have right here is the permanent or persistent cookies. Now, permanent or persistent cookies remember user login details. So every time you log in, there is an option that either if you want to save your ID, or either if you want to save your password. So this type of the cookie have your ID and password saved, so they can be used to authenticate them. Where are they stored? They are stored on a hard drive of a user's computer until the expiry date reaches or deleted. These cookies remain operational even if the computer is stored or even the website session is terminated. For example, if you have asked the computer to remember your Gmail password or ID, or if you have asked your computer to remember your either Instagram or Facebook ID password, that means that either if that session is terminated or if that session is closed, your files are still accessible. That does not mean that if you close the browser, your browser will not remember the details. Every time you open up your computer and you go out to the same website, you can see that now you do not need to enter the same ID password again and again. That means that if you request it to save it, it is stored permanently until you request to remove it. So their advantage is that they remove the need to type in login passwords again and again, right? So just in case if you have saved your ID and password into any of the website, so it is storing your user preferences. And this also contains certain personal information as well. And many legal websites encrypt the personal information into cookies to prevent unauthorized users or unaccessed hackers to access them. So persistent cookies are really effective because they carry website data from one session to another, and they remove the need to store the massive amount of data on the server itself. And it also reduces the need to type data again and again. Right in front of you, this is the diagrammatical representation explaining you. So let's check this. You can ask questions anytime if you wish to. I hope everything is clear to you. So you can see here that first time when the users log into a website, we can see that user browser requests web page from website for the first time. That means that at this stage, I am entering the website address. For example, I'm opening daraz.com. Now, uh, it is accessing the website daraz.com. Whenever it is in the opening process, your web server, Daraz server, replies and sends cookie back to the web browser. Again, we have already discussed that cookies are of two types, that either if it is a persistent cookie and either if this is a sessional cookie. So if it has to authorize its persistent cookies, that means that cookies will be utilized on the user's hardware. And if it is a session cookie, that means that cookie has to be searched in your temporary memory. So both of the cookies are open. All of the information can be stored here as you go through this website. And when you close the website, when you close the browser, only the at the details that are saved in your persistent cookies will remain stored, and sessional cookies will delete from its memory. Do you all remember that we use incognito mode, incognito web browser? Where your history track cannot be key or kept. So it uses sessional cookies, right? So when you close that browser, everything you do here is never recorded. That is an example of a session cookie. But if you perform anything in your persistent, in your normal browser, that means that it is storing all of your history, all of your ID and passwords as well. If you request to, this can be example of a persistent cookie and sessional cookies, but you will not be asked to give certain examples into your exam. And one most important thing is that do not give examples of any brand in your exam, because you are not allowed to do this. It will result in deduction of marks. So user logs into the website again. When the user logs into the website again, we can see that web server checks for the cookies, and it checks for all of the data and it returns it back. So as far as summary of the persistent cookie is concerned, I can say that it allows the website to remember passwords, email address, and invoices they are interested on. It serves as a memory. And one more thing is that it also allows websites to open at a much faster rate. It also saves users item in virtual basket. It track your internet habits and users with favorite websites. It target users with their advertising that matches. It even stores your user preferences as well. Acha, they are also used in your managing your financial transactions as well, and allowing progress in online games and quizzes and social networking. So we have already witnessed all of these examples, right? I don't think so that I need to explain it again and again. If you have questions, you can ask it. As far as your exam is concerned, exam ke andar there can be a question that what is a cookie. So you should write it like cookies are small files stored on your user's computer. They are sent by a web browser on a user computer, and they store your user preferences, data, and collected data, right? पेपर के अंदर types of cookies का question तो कम है, but even if there is, so you can write that there are two types of cookies: sessional cookies and persistent cookies, right? This summary is going to help you. So, do anyone have any question in this cookies topic?
सर मतलब कुकीज
नो
भी एक
सर।
वेबसाइट कह सकते हैं हम उसे?
बेटा, कुकीज को वेबसाइट नहीं कह सकते हम। कुकीज आर अ पार्ट ऑफ अ वेबसाइट। एवरी टाइम यू ओपन अप अ वेबसाइट, आपकी जो वेबसाइट के प्रेफरेंसेस हैं वो सब स्टोर होंगे आपके कुकीज के अंदर। आप क्या चीज सर्च
सही।
करते हो, आपका आईडी पासवर्ड क्या है, आप किन लोगों से इवन आप बात कर रहे हो, आपके वेबसाइट के बेसिक कलर्स क्या हैं, ये सारी चीजें कुकीज इवन हेल्प करता है आपकी वेबसाइट्स को जल्दी ओपन होने में। क्योंकि अगर सारे विजुअल्स आपके आप लोगों ने शायद विटनेस किया होगा कि अगर मैं पहली दफा कोई भी वेबसाइट को ओपन करता हूँ तो इट टेक्स अ लॉन्गर टू लोड कंपेरेटिवली इफ आई ओपन द वेबसाइट सेकंड और थर्ड टाइम। तो बेटा, आप में से किसी को कुकीज से रिलेटेड कोई क्वेश्चन है?
हाँ सर।
ओके, आई होप इट इज क्लियर। और कुकीज की जो बेसिक डेफिनेशन है वो आपके पास ये रही। A cookie is a text file that is sent from a website to a user's browser. It is used to remember user preferences each time you visit the website. User preferences, what are these? These are settings or options that are stored in your cookies. Sessional cookie, what is it? It is a cookie that is stored temporarily on the computer. It is deleted whenever you close it. Persistent cookies क्या है बेटा? Persistent cookies are stored on your user's hard drive. There is a difference between both of them, and they are only deleted when the expiry date is reached. Virtual basket is your shopping cart. So just after cookies, we have another important topic, that is your digital currency.